Welcome to Horror Midnight Thrills. Thank you for stopping by to watch our spine-chilling, heart-pounding, scary videos. Your support means the world to us. If you love thrilling tales and terrifying mysteries, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. In the quiet town of Hollowbrook, there lived a boy named Aiden. Aiden was a peculiar child with an unsettling ability. He could see things that others couldn't. Shadows danced around him, whispering secrets only he could hear. His parents, Jonathan and Emily, were increasingly worried about their son's strange behavior. No matter how many doctors they consulted, no one could explain the sinister phenomena that seemed to follow Aiden. Aiden had always been different. From a young age, he would point at empty corners of the room, his eyes wide with terror. He spoke of shadowy figures that no one else could see, figures that seemed to watch him with malevolent intent. His parents brushed off his tales as mere childhood fantasies, but their concern grew as the years passed. Desperate for answers, Jonathan and Emily took Aiden to countless doctors and specialists. They hoped someone could provide a rational explanation for their son's experiences. However, every visit ended the same way, with puzzled looks and dismissive reassurances. No one could see what Aiden saw, and no one believed his stories. As Aiden grew older, his visions became more frequent and intense. He would wake up screaming in the middle of the night, his eyes filled with terror. He spoke of shadowy figures that stood at the foot of his bed, their eyes glowing with an eerie light. His parents could hear whispers echoing through the house, but they could never find the source. One particularly harrowing night, Aiden's screams pierced the silence. Jonathan and Emily rushed to their son's room, only to find him cowering in a corner, his eyes locked on something unseen. Desperate for answers, they decided to take him to Dr. Evelyn Hayes, a renowned child psychologist known for her unconventional methods. Dr. Hayes listened patiently as Aiden recounted his experiences, her brow furrowing with concern. She believed that there might be more to Aiden's visions than mere imagination. She suggested conducting a series of tests to determine the root cause of his experiences. Days turned into weeks as Dr. Hayes delved deeper into Aiden's mind. She discovered that his ability to see the shadowy figures was linked to an ancient family curse. Generations ago, Aiden's ancestors had dabbled in dark rituals, unwittingly binding their bloodline to the world of spirits and demons. Determined to break the curse, Dr. Hayes enlisted the help of her colleagues, experts in the paranormal and occult. Together, they conducted a ritual to sever the connection between Aiden and the shadowy realm. The ritual was intense, filled with chants and incantations, and the air crackled with energy. The ritual reached its climax as Aiden stood at the center of a circle of glowing runes. The shadowy figures swirled around him, their whispers growing louder and more frantic. Dr. Hayes and her colleagues chanted the final incantation, and a blinding light filled the room. Aiden's screams echoed through the air as the shadows were torn from his soul, banished back to the abyss. The light faded and the room fell silent. Jonathan and Emily rushed to their son's side, relieved to find him safe and sound. Weeks passed and the family began to believe that the nightmare was over. Aiden seemed happier and more at peace, and the shadowy figures no longer haunted his nights. However, the calm was short-lived. One night, as the family gathered for dinner, a chilling wind swept through the house, extinguishing the candles and plunging the room into darkness. Aiden's eyes widened with fear as he saw the shadowy figures return, their whispers more insistent and malevolent than ever before. Dr. Hayes received a frantic call from Emily, who explained that the shadows had returned, more powerful and vengeful than before. Realizing that the initial ritual had only temporarily weakened the connection, Dr. Hayes and her team prepared for one final confrontation. They devised a new, more powerful ritual that would sever the connection once and for all, but it required immense sacrifice and unwavering courage. On the night of the ritual, the family gathered in their living room, which had been transformed into a makeshift ritual space. The air was thick with tension as Dr. Hayes and her team began the incantations. The shadows swirled around them, their whispers rising to a deafening crescendo. Aiden stood at the center of the circle, his face pale and determined. As the ritual reached its climax, the shadows began to lash out, trying to drag Aiden into their dark realm. Jonathan and Emily held onto their son, their love and determination fueling the protective barrier that kept the shadows at bay. With a final, desperate incantation, Dr. Hayes unleashed a surge of energy that enveloped Aiden, banishing the shadows once and for all. The room was filled with a blinding light, and the shadows dissipated, leaving behind only silence. The town of Hollowbrook slowly returned to normal, but the memory of that fateful night would forever haunt Aiden and his family. They had faced the darkness and emerged victorious, but the scars of their battle remained. Aiden had learned to control his gift, using it to protect the innocent and keep the shadows at bay. But he knew that the world was still full of unseen horrors and that one day they might return. And so, the tale of Aiden and the shadows of the unseen became a legend in Hollowbrook, a chilling reminder of the thin veil that separates our world from the realm of the supernatural.